right, we're going now. All right, so this is Justin Clark with the VRV, or Veterans Referring Veterans, and we're super excited to have Gilly on, if I call you that, Gilbert, with
Let's
four
roll.
best, with four best, and you're coming out of Killeen, Texas. So thanks for coming on, and thanks for being a member of the VRV, brother. So obviously we're here to highlight you with what you're doing, and yeah, we were just talking earlier, and you were a ranger before.
Correct,
We
correct.
just
Yeah. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you. For bringing me on board. I mean, I see the things that you're doing, and I mean, you're blowing up, and I'm pretty sure you're working hard over there 24/7 with the VRV. But yeah, so yeah, I'm Gilbert Zavala. I'm the founder, CEO, president, I guess, of 4BEST. Um, so a little bit about me. Did 20 plus years in the Army, uh, Army Ranger. Um, Retired. Um, I miss it. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I do miss it a lot. I just believe after my 20 plus years, it was time for me to move on and to my next chapter. I've always been the individual that was always willing to give, 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 and my family's sacrificed so much with me giving to our country. And I think now it's time for me to start giving back, not only to my family, but to our society in general. And that's how I essentially came up with the name for Best. I pondered a lot on coming up with a name of my own actual business because I'm usually really, really good with coming up ideas for everyone else.
I hear you.
So this time around, I grabbed that good idea fairy by the throat, and I was like, okay, you need to start spinning some good ideas for myself. So I pondered for a while on the name. I was also a sniper in the Army, so that kind of helped out with the name a little bit because in the Army, the identifier for snipers is a Bravo 4. So let me see how I could use that. So I thought about it, and then I was like, well, what do I want to bring to the table? I'm kind of a bit of a chess player, so I try to think, two moves ahead.
Yeah.
So I started thinking, okay, what did I do in the Army? How could I turn around and use that to help, the civilians or our society or the world in general?
Right.
So now I start thinking, okay, what do we need in our society? We need security, we need equipment, and then a big part of our society is what I give a lot of thanks to is our law enforcement as well. So that's where the tactics started coming into play. So I was thinking, okay, equipment, security, tactics, and then so I came up with the name for Best. The four and the B essentially the identifier for snipers in the Army, and then the EST kind of just fell in place for equipment, security, and tactics, and that's how I got the name for Best.
Right
So
on.
that's pretty much how I came up with the name for my business. And that's so for the big picture is yeah. Right now, everything I'm doing is essentially out of my own garage and paying out of pocket. So right now, I'm not making any profit. I'm trying to. I hate to say this, but I'm trying to like lowball everybody else.
You're right.
My name out there. Right now, I'm like a very small fish in a big ocean.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
competitors out there, competitor businesses out there. So I'm trying to undercut everybody and slowly get my name out there.
Yeah.
Um, Another thing I do right now that's kind of helping me with my supplies and purchasing my supplies is I work part time at a indoor gun range, and then I also do um, like a security job that's contracting. So recently, I was in Ohio for almost a month and a half through a security company, which I'm not going to disclose. Um, so this way, I could broaden my information, my knowledge on what's being used out there and how it's being used, and try to turn around and use it for my own business. So I'm
Right on.
still do the learning process of everybody else, seeing how they're working things, and then I want to turn around and try to fine tune it. That way, I'm a little bit better than everybody else,
Right.
which would be hard because in that department alone, there's a lot of security companies out there already. So just like holsters, there's a lot of holster companies out there. that I'm competing with, and I'm just trying to make my name for myself. And
Right.
from there, um, so essentially, like for example, for like the Kydex holsters that I build, I don't even have all the machinery to do it, but finding a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. So I'm essentially just doing everything by hand with sandpapers and stuff like that, and that's how I'm building. And I don't even have a drill press, so I'm using like a standard hand drill.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. So like, and then like for like the plate carriers and battle belts and stuff like that, I was using a standardized like Walmart brand sewing machine. Like needles upon needles were breaking because the material I was using was really thick. The string or the threads I was using were ballistic threads, which are very expensive, but it was not fitting well sometimes. So, like for example, my plate carrier took me, I want to say almost a month and a half to actually make one plate carrier, just because I don't have proper equipment. My battle butt alone took me a month and a half to build. But
You're
that's
gonna have to show these off too, because he showed me earlier. They're amazing.
yeah.
So, like
What I'll do is I'll start off with this holster. So this holster is what everybody calls a pancake style holster, which I also do the pancakes and then the taco. So this one in particular fits a Sig 238.
Mhm.
Just clear it that way everybody knows that.
Yeah, we start getting all the comments.
Yeah. It fits in just good enough. It's
Yeah.
a belt style holster. It fits through the belt. Um, and this one belongs to my wife. She loves it. It goes in easily, comes out easily. It is I don't know if you could tell from the camera, but it's a carbon fiber style
Right.
Kydex
Yep.
holster. So that's what I did with this, and then I got like this other Sig 320, which I'll clear also. That way, everybody is tracking that it's cleared. Um, so this one, I'm in the works of building, which is another pancake style, which it also fits in. It's a flat black Kydex.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes in easily. I make sure I get a nice, good sweat guard band on there. So far, I've been making everything out of garage. Um, I've been passing out my business cards. People been calling me and emailing me and wanting them. So right now, like I said, I've been making everything out of by hand and in the garage. So I don't have all the molds that are needed to make everybody's holsters.
Right.
So what I do to compensate for that is I ask the customers if they're fine with it to fill out a waiver or a documentation stating that they're willing to give me their actual pistol or firearm, and I give them a receipt for it.
Yeah.
Pictures of it and everything like that. That way, you know, if they ever get it back, if it's scratched like that, then I'll compensate for them to get it resale coded or something like that. Okay. If I have damage to it. So far, about if I had to put a percentage, I would guess about maybe 90 to 95% of the customers I've had so far have been fine with giving me their pistols, which is fine. I've had maybe a handful of customers that have been out of state that requested holsters, which I've had to actually go out and order an actual mold. So, I mean, it's got its perks to having the mold, but also some perks of having me selling my holsters here locally. But which, again, as a chess player, I'm thinking 2 moves ahead. So slowly, little by little, as I start getting some more income, I'll start purchasing more molds and stuff like that. Right now, I'm concentrating on like the more popular molds, like the Army came out with that new M17 320. Well, I'm going to cut down and actually purchase a mold because that's going to be another high demand for here in the near future, which I see. So, and then I also have like the Glock 19, which is another popular one. I will be getting like an M&P also.
You better get that M&P.
Yeah. So little by little, I'm getting like the more popular molds in.
Right.
Those are a lot more higher in demand. So that I'm working on as well.
So can you, just real quick question, do you do the inside the waistband too? Or
yes,
you, okay.
I do.
Okay.
I did a giveaway on my 4Best Instagram page a few months back for the 2019 New Year giveaway. She wanted the winner. She won the giveaway, which was a We the People design.
Right. Yeah.
And that was her request. Was she wanted a right hip inside the waistband. So I was like, okay, I could do that. So that's how I made hers. I think I posted pictures of it already. Excuse me, on my Instagram page. I think it's one of my newer posts.
If not, we'll push that out.
Yeah, I know she's out of town, and she said when she got in town and checked her mail, she was gonna grab it and post it saying that she got it, so on and so forth. I do inside the waistbands also. I do appendix holsters as well. I do have some questions or some concerns that some people ask me if I do leather. At the moment, I don't do leather holsters just because I don't have the material to even make the kind of holsters. So that once I start getting the higher source of income coming in with the stuff that I'm already making, that'll be on the list of purchasing to be able to do leather holsters, because I know there's still a handful of people out there that love the holsters made out of leather.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to meet the criteria to please everyone, which I know it's hard to please everybody. So that I already accepted. As far as like pleasing everybody, it's gonna be really, really hard. But that's my goal, is try to please 100% of my customers, which I know won't, but that's the goal.
Yeah, but I think you're obviously heart and soul into it, and you're putting that passion into that product. And if I love how you're taking everybody's, and I personally would want that, because I carry an M&P 40, and whenever obviously holsters fit, but I'd much rather have something custom made by you, man. That'd be sweet. Yeah. So after this video, we need to talk.
Yeah, which is really funny, because since you have an M&P 40, I already have one, so I could make one and then send it off to you. That way you could use to post on your page as well.
Just need to get that VRV logo on there.
Yeah.
So no, that's sweet, man.
That's another thing I'm working at. Hopefully here in the near future, I either find somebody locally or either make my own purchase on doing like my own laser engraving onto my own posters.
Right on, dude. That's way sweet. So then tell us about your other stuff you're making too.
Yeah, so this battle belt right here. So the way I designed it is because when we deploy, which I've both my battle belt and my plate card that I've made, I've taken to my deployment, my last deployment before I retired. So it's essentially battlefield tested. And the way I put my thought process in building the actual battle belt itself was, one of the biggest things is when we wear battle belts of any nature is we sweat around our waistline a lot when we wear these battle belts. So I took in consideration of trying to make something breathable. So what I did with this battle belt is I kind of made it, because I like working out also. So I kind of essentially made it to where the outline of the battle belt is essentially kind of like a weight belt to support our back.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't know if I could get this in the whole video. So essentially what you look is, this is the inside of the battle belt. So what
you put all this together?
Yes. I made this all, not essentially by hand, but by sewing machine.
Man, you learned a lot in the Ranger School, man.
So what I did is I made this a mesh foam cushioning that you could utilize to create a barrier between your body and the actual battle belt itself.
Yeah.
So this is essentially the inside of it. And then on the outside, what I used was a multi-cam material, and I got the webbing that I actually, everything on here I personally made and custom made myself. If you were to actually get a close up and look at the stitching looks very horrible. So you could tell it's not like something you buy off the shelf. So if
it functions, man.
It kind of got a contour line to where it's got almost essentially what it looks like a weighted belt for a gym.
Yeah.
The strap itself, I don't know if you remember the skid codes that we used to use in the Army. There was an abundance of it, so I essentially just grabbed the straps off that.
Yeah.
And I personally bought a Cobra belt buckle essentially. So essentially, that's all it is a cobra buckle. That way, it snaps in easy,
Yeah.
and it essentially goes around your waist. Um, the belt itself is free flowing, so it'll actually rotate full
Oh,
three.
sweet. Yeah.
So another thing I wanted to do is, if for some reason I didn't want that extra cushioning or this extra padding, what I did is I sewed on to the inside a Velcro. So
Man,
now
look
I
at
have
you.
a cushion that I
Yeah.
can toss off to the side, and
Yeah.
the battle belt itself has a smaller, thinner cushion to it.
Wow.
Since I've been working with Kydex, what I did was to stiffen the actual outside of the battle belt is I actually in place Kydex into it. So that way it gives the stiffness. That way, if you ever decide to add any pouches onto the outside or mag carriers or anything like that, you can
Yeah.
do so. It's set up for Molly because that's what
Yeah.
this is, kind of stitched it up as a Molly.
Dude,
Um,
that is awesome.
but yeah, so essentially that's the plate carrier itself. It holds the weight very well. I had I think it was 9 mag holders on here at one point, fully loaded
Huh.
prior to mission, and it held all the weight very well, along with a canteen that I had because I'm a firm believer in staying hydrated. So I had a canteen on the center, and it held all the ammo plus the weight of the water that I was carrying off of it.
Right on.
So that's the battle belt. And then um, as far as the plate carrier, the same concept that I put into the mesh of like to absorb some of the heat exposure between your body and make it breathable. I also did that with my plate carrier. So my plate carrier essentially is also multi-cam. It's got the MOLLE gear in the back along with the front. And then the front also incorporated the Velcro because I know that's the biggest thing is placing like your name or your rank or whatever it may
Mm-hmm.
be. I kind of made it kind of military friendly per se, along with um, a carrying handle.
Handle. Yeah.
So this carrying handle, I ran it through a weight test. It's with the stitching that I have on here, it could hold up, it could pull or hold up to 900 pounds.
Huh.
So because what I did was, what it is essentially 1/4 inch cotton webbing, and
Mm-hmm.
what I did all the way down to right here of the actual plate carrier. So it's considered essentially stitched from here all the way up to the top. So all the stitching plus the actual the tension of the actual webbing itself could hold up to 900 pounds. So
Yeah.
if you got a guy that's 500 pounds and you need to drag him, you're gonna be able to drag him with it.
Yeah. So how
Um,
long did it take you to make that?
so the plate carrier itself it took me about 2.5 months,
Man.
and the the battle belt it took me about a month and a half, almost 2 months. Another thing too that I thought about was the side plate carriers, the side plates that.
Right.
So what I did was I made it a breathable MOLLE to where you could still incorporate your side plates on both sides.
Yeah.
Uh, Another thing too is I know it was really big. Like I really don't like Velcro, especially like when you're out on mission and you're trying to open up a flap or something like that. It makes all this noise and
Yeah.
gives right. So what I did is I know like the army is real big. If you're wearing a plate carrier, it's got to have some sort of quick release. I didn't really make what is really quick, but what I did was I incorporated 2 buckles on the top of the shoulder strap. So if needed be, I could just pop both straps
Hmm.
and get out of it easy.
So right on, dude.
Um, so I did that, and I know people have a tendency of either gaining weight or losing weight. So what I did was these side straps, they fit into a sleeve in the back plate area. And in that back plate area, essentially you got about anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of room. So you could essentially tighten it up or loosen it up with this 550 cord that I stitched in here.
There you go. Right
Essentially
on.
on this and then tighten it up or loosen it and make it the waist size larger as per se. And
Yeah.
another thing I did too was I'll pull it out since it's essentially free flowing. So what I did was on the inside. So this is what tightens up and loosens.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then this right here, this material here is essentially ballistic. I don't even think that's the right term, but it's a very tough material of elastic. So it'll
Huh.
essentially a good
Yeah.
from a quarter to half an inch of like stretch
Yeah.
around your waistline. So essentially, if you pull this drawstring here, it'll either tighten up this to tighten up around your waistline, or you can loosen it up to loosen it up.
That's where I'm at. Dude, that is crazy, man. That is awesome.
The same material of the
Yeah.
mesh, so it's breathable as well.
Yeah. So what got you into this with doing I understand with doing the holsters, but then with these, what triggered you into like, hey honey, I'm gonna be in the garage for 2.5 months sewing. She's like, you're out of the army, you don't need to sew anymore.
Yeah. Something because I know the Army has their own plate carriers, their own battle belts, if I'm not mistaken. But I know, like, one of the issues with me when I would wear body armor is the mobility of my arms.
Right.
That was like the biggest thing for me, and the breathability of my body armor. So what I try to do is, so the way I tailored the actual plate carrier was to where it'll be just big enough to actually fit whatever size plate you wear. So like if you wear like the place I wore for this was a large. So I tailored this one in particular over around a large plate. So like if you let's say you shot me an email saying you wanted a plate carrier but you wear a size an extra large. So before I get down, what I did is I made templates of a small, medium, large, extra large, and even a double X large plate. I think they have a double X large plate. I can't remember, but I made templates of each plate. So this way, because I knew I was going to be retiring, getting out, I wanted to have these templates. This way, I know I already have that because in the Army, our plays change once every like 15, 20 years. So I know with the newer plays that the Army just got before I got out, those are going to be around for a while.
Right.
So that's how I kind of tailored that. And then it was just, like I said, I finally grabbed that good idea fairy on the throat, and Jesus just started sprinkling all over me. And I was like, okay, it's hitting me now. I better start on it now, because if not, then I'm either going to forget or I'm going to really procrastinate and then just not ever do it again.
Right.
So I finally put my foot down and just started utilizing that good idea fairy dust and put it to work.
That's awesome. So if somebody wanted to order one of those, right? If they're wanting to purchase one, are they waiting now? Are you like build to order? Like
Essentially.
Okay. All right, cool. Just for if anybody listening.
The material is really expensive. The threading that I use is ballistic thread. Is really expensive. For like a spool of thread that has that tensile weight on it is about $100 per roll.
Wow.
So it's pretty expensive.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like right now I am talking to a guy. He's also a veteran, which he will soon, here in the near future, hopefully be starting on my website. So right now I'm working everything off of my Facebook page and my Instagram page for now.
And what are those, so we can throw those out there too?
Yep. So the Instagram page, it's 4BESTLLC. So to search it, it's the number 4_best_LLC, and that's the Instagram page. The Facebook page is 4best.llc, and that's for the Facebook page.
Okay.
So right now, that's doing everything off of those two pages right now.
So they can contact you all through there and everything?
Yes.
Okay.
They could either send me a DM. Also have an email that they could shoot an email at me, and the email is also posted on both the Facebook and the Instagram page, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, and you can use the VRV. Hey, I didn't know why I didn't think of that.
Yeah, and also, that's another thing I like about how you're running the VRV, because you're not you don't show favoritism just to one individual or one business. I'm constantly seeing how you're posting everybody, and it's a consistency that I like how you're running VRV, and I love that so much because to be honest, I don't even know how I actually came across you in VRV.
I don't remember.
I think it was like coincidence, but talking to you and then like listening to you and then looking at your pages, and it was like a big light bulb for me.
Oh, right on.
And especially like with everything, like I said, you're doing like that pure consistency of posting not only like certain individuals or certain businesses, but posting of everybody. And that's what I love, because there are, I hate to say this, but there are some veteran owned, not businesses, maybe businesses or companies trying to grow and blow up as well, but they're consistently just showing favoritism to certain individuals, and they're not in that perspective.
Right. Yeah. And you can't like, and that's thank you for saying that, because I even on the backside, I don't even think you know what my other business is, because my other business is what's funding the VRV until it can stand on its own legs. But there's with my other business, I was like, man, do I put these people out because that's kind of my competitors? But I'm like, that's not what the VRV is about. It's so that's why I don't even advertise myself with any of that, and I push out these other people, whatever the businesses they are, because like, it sounds cheesy, but everybody's super special. Like, I love everybody. Everybody's super unique with what they're doing, like with what you're doing with your holsters. And as much as I want to see you blow up and get super huge, there's no way you could take in all these clients. You're physically impossible to do it, and I think once people really realize that, they're like, hey, if I maybe help this guy out, even though we're in their same career fields or maybe competitors, we help each other out, man, and it's beneficial for everybody. So I appreciate that, man, because that's what we truly want to do is help you guys grow, and whatever I can do to help out and get going with that, and especially when we start, physically having our presence down in Texas will be sweet. So, and then that'll give you a platform to come out and showcase all your stuff to the public and do that in a different light with through the VRV, hopefully. So thanks, man. I really appreciate that.
Oh man, I'm just speaking from the heart, being honest. That was the biggest thing that I've always growing up is speak your mind, but be honest about what you're saying.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing. Is like not only like just with a battle belt, the plate carrier, the holsters I do. It's like the biggest thing is I'm a big family man.
Yeah.
And that was another concern, is as far as like the security goes, is okay. So what can I do to help people protect themselves? So like around my neighborhood, like we had this neighborhood Facebook page, and like I'll go out and I teach them home defense and like what techniques they could use to deter, intruders, because there's so many things that we could do that are non-violent that could prevent intruders coming into our residence. And it's funny because not a lot of people are aware of it. So some people will think, okay, if I have a gun or a firearm in my home, I'm safe. That's essentially not true, because there's a lot of factors that come into play with owning a firearm in your home. Because, for example, if you have an intruder that breaks into your home and you pull that firearm out and you're not taking consideration, okay, if I fire this firearm in this direction, what walls is it going to go through? Who is it going to hit? In reference to me, the intruder, and my children, where are they at? So like there's a lot of things that come into factor in home defense. So and that's another thing that I took into consideration, because I want my family to be protected, but not only my family, I want everybody else's families to be protected as well and safe.
Yeah.
So there's like your soft and your hard deterrents on keeping intruders from coming in. And it could be as simple as putting up a ADT sign that you found on the side of the road in front of your front yard.
Right.
And strolling down your neighborhood and see that in your front yard, you're gonna be like, well, they must have an alarm system. I'm not gonna bother that house.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just simple things like that people are not aware of, and that's what I try teaching people, along with firearm safety and stuff like that. How to I had this woman, she was in her late 60s, if I'm not mistaken, never ever in her life fired a firearm, but she was intrigued with how I was running things, and she wanted me to teach her basic pistol 101, essentially. So I was teaching her, and I spent so essentially like I charged like for the hour and a half, but so I charged her for the hour and a half, but I ended up spending 3 hours with her because I wanted to make sure she understood the concepts of the safety of the firearm.
Yeah.
And she wanted to pay me more. And I was like, no, I like my main concern is to help you become more familiarized with a firearm. So within that time frame, I took her to the gun range and spent an additional hour because she was just being frightened of the other individuals firing in the range. And she started breaking down on me, and I like slowly started working with her. And I finally got her nice and comfortable being in there, and I asked her if she wanted to leave, and she said no, that she wanted to get at least one shot fired. So I was like, okay. I was like, I'll work with your pace. And she's like, thank you very much. So I kept on working with her. And finally, I was able to get the pistol in her hands and aim down her sights without dropping the pistol onto the platform from other people firing around her. Yeah. And she finally got one shot off, and she liked it. Yeah. She became she was unafraid of it anymore. Yeah. And that was the main goal. And I was like, okay, I'm glad you're at this point. I was like, would you like to continue? And she said, no, I'm done for the day. So I gave her one of my cards, and in the back of my mind, I didn't think I was ever going to hear from her again. Mm-hmm. Sure enough, she shot me an email, and she said she would like a 30-minute coaching session, which is another fee that I charge. And she was like, I was like, okay, fine. I was like, give me a date and time. I was like, I try to work my schedule around my customers. And she said, okay. So she gave me a date and time. I met up with her. And during that 30-minute coaching session, she went in with the intent of wanting to shoot 50 rounds. I was like, let's take it slow and work from our way up from there. She said, okay. So at the end of the 30-minute session, she was able to get maybe only 10 rounds off. But that's 10 more rounds that she's ever fired in her whole life, and she was becoming more comfortable. Right. So after that point till now, I've met with her, I want to say over a dozen times. Wow. And she finally actually went out and bought her own firearm. Yeah. And that's what I want. I want to be able to work at the pace of others and make sure they understand all the safeties and the regulations. You can have that confidence. Yes. Right. Dude, that's awesome, man. No, that's great, because I think people really want that personal feel rather than being treated like a number at a range, So good job, man. That's awesome. So so obviously anybody that's listening, hit you up, man. Hit up Gilbert. So that's freaking sweet, dude. I love it. I love absolutely everything you're doing, from your holsters to your training to your belts are impressive. I can't believe you sell those things, man. You need to put like a GoPro in your garage and have you time lapse with what you're doing. Yeah, that's your little sewing kit going. It's like, I need to get a GoPro, like maybe like a drone, because I found some property I could actually go and do some training. So like, hey, you need a good drone. I was like, man, I'll get there. I was like, let me get stable and I'll work there. Well, we're getting drone. I got a drone guy I got to push out next week, actually. Well, he's here in Colorado, but you never know. We might come across a veteran-owned drone company that can come down and you guys can collaborate with doing stuff, because that would be really cool. Yep. So, well, right on, dude. Do you got anything else? Any special announcements or anything going? Or honestly, no, not really. Oh, actually, yes. I have a tendency of forgetting things, but usually, like, I hear a word too, and it like triggers my memory. But so. I've been sending out some emails and messages to other veteran-owned businesses. I'm going to be I'm trying to do a very, very large giveaway for Memorial Day. Okay. I know it's a ways out there, but it's going to come around quicker than expected. So I am hitting some veteran-owned businesses. If you guys are listening, you're a veteran-owned business and willing to contribute to my giveaway, please hit me up. Let me know. I have some that are going to be sending me some stuff. I don't want to put any names out there yet because it's not really set in stone. But I do have 2, I think maybe 3 that are already collaborating and wanting to help out. But anything, and the reason I want to try to get as many veteran-owned businesses involved is because I don't want to try to make it to where I'm trying to make my name bigger. I want to try to make not only my name bigger as far as 4Best, but all other veteran-owned businesses out there. So this will be a collaboration of other veteran-owned businesses. Obviously, for the actual giveaway, they'll have to follow obviously my page and the pages of others that are sending me some stuff to be a part of the giveaway. Obviously, not only follow but like the post itself, and then probably like tag 3 people, some down there. Haven't worked out all the kinks, but I'm trying to make it as big as possible. I know I got. I'm probably gonna mess up their names. Four Mead, I think it is.
4 Brothers Mead.
Yeah, 4 Brothers Mead. They are one that's gonna contribute, so they'll be one of the ones I will be hosting on that page as well, saying that they're doing the giveaway. I know they're one, and I think there's some other ones that I'm working with right now.
I swear the 4 Brothers Mead are with everybody within the VRV in one way or another. It's so funny. Yeah. So those guys are little VRV whores.
That they were willing to contribute. I was just happy. So that was like a big old, like when they told me that that they're willing to contribute, that like put a big old grin on my face, because I'm the type of person that really doesn't like asking for assistance or help or guidance. But since I've been out of the military, since I retired, I've learned sometimes you got to, extend that hand out and ask for the help to try to get where you're trying to get to.
Right. Yeah. No, that's awesome, because a lot of people, they have an issue with that, and guys stepping out of the military, that's really hard to ask for a hand. So like, but I was gonna say, here, you got to lean the camera down a bit. I'm like trying to look up. There we go. There we go. I was like, but that's kind of what, if anybody out there that's listening, entrepreneur, active duty, we don't care. If you got a question for anybody, like honestly, anybody within the VRV, ask away. I'll get you connected with them, because everybody's just like you, man. They're open to helping out other people and other vets. So I love it. I love this community that's growing. I love the support, and I love meeting people like you with obviously doing super unique, awesome stuff that you're doing. And I don't know what my wife would do if I was sewing in the garage forever.
a little bit of history behind, my sewing is because I grew up with just my mom and 3 other siblings.
Yeah.
So my father was out of the picture almost my whole life, and she's the one that taught us everything. She taught us how to cook, stitch, crochet, sew. Like, she taught us all this. So I guess as far as like building my plate carriers and my battle belts, I would really have to thank my mom for that, for knowing all that.
Thank you, Gilbert's mom. No, that's cool, man. That's way cool. So obviously a very strong woman too, and then sending you off into the Army, man. That's a lot. Yeah, I'm sure. So, but now she's got somebody who sews, and it's awesome, man. So, no, that's great. I don't really have anything. You got nothing else? We had that last announcement with the giveaway, so look for that. We'll push that on our social medias. One thing too with you, because you had announced your giveaway with within the VRV, because we did a big one with a bunch of the guys before. We're gonna do a 4th of July one giveaway. So obviously, if you want to be involved with that too, Definitely. And I'll send out some gear for you, like sweaters and stuff from us for your giveaway as well. So count us in on that one too. So, and then obviously look them up. You guys need any custom holsters or with the packs, man? Those are freaking sweet. So I got to talk to the wife about those. But I'll be out of my event passing out VRV gear with it. So. It'll be sweet. But no, I appreciate it, man. And it's great finally seeing you face to face a bit. Hopefully we can, we're gonna be down in Dallas here soon at an event, and maybe I'll see you there. If not, hopefully in Dallas, or we'll get something going near where you're at. And so once again, thank you everybody that supports veteran-owned businesses. Thank you 4Best. Thank you, Gilbert. I appreciate it. So I guess that's it for right now, brother. Till next time.
Thank you.
All right, brother. You have a good one, man.